What is up, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. We are back with the Jeep Liberty. Today we are doing some much needed maintenance as well as a fairly large repair on it as well. I've been experiencing a lot of vibrations, a lot of shaking, stuff like that out of the rear end of this thing. Tracked it down to the ball joint because this is a unibody frame. It has just a single rear upper control arm. So I don't know if you'll be able to see it from here, but there's a big box right there that has a brand new upper control arm, ball joint, and bushings. So I'm gonna unhook this trailer. I'm gonna drive the Jeep over to probably the one dry part in this entire yard because it's been raining nonstop, and we will get started on this project. All right, y'all. So I have it jacked up, sitting on some good old Harbor Freight jack stands, so I'm probably gonna die. I'm gonna open up this box from Rock Auto and I'll kind of show you what I got for this thing. I was not expecting this thing to be here this quickly. I figured it would be at least a few more weeks, but apparently they get parts here pretty quick. So that's rockauto.com. Not getting sponsored or anything. That's just where I got this part from. And part number is 149-4548 Frank Lincoln. Well, let's get it open. Try to find the package here. Well, we definitely got enough stuff for shipping. Plenty of the parts underneath there. All right, y'all, after like 10 minutes of pulling air bubbles off, got the part. It's got brand new bushings in it, and it's got the ball joint in it. My actual control arm on the Jeep is still okay, but for the prices of this and those together, and then having to get a press and just dealing with all the dirty and rustiness of Minnesota, it actually wound up being cheaper just to get a whole new upper control arm. Apparently this is a very common issue on these Jeeps. I'm gonna flip you over to time lapse, maybe bring you along here and there for stuff when I pull out the old one. But yeah, so let's get started. All right, y'all, so I'm out of the car now. That's the upper control arm. Basically, you gotta undo that bolt. And there's another one kind of over there up underneath the muffler, and then there is our bad ball joint. The upper control arm actually looks significantly worse than I recall, but that's kind of what we're working with. Probably have to get the PB blaster out at this point because these are looking a little rough, and I don't want to snap any of these off. So that being said, let's get started and see what we can do. All right, y'all, so we're on day 3 of this repair. This is what's left of the inner bolt. It was seized, air hammered that to the threads, and then we drilled it out. We finally got it out. Yeah, we got it out, didn't we, buddy? Did you help?
Yes.
Yeah, did you help get that out?
I put the note.
Yep.
No, put the note.
Can you say bolt?
Bolt.
Yep. Okay, so now we're gonna run to the hardware store, get another grade A bolt, or I might pull that upper control arm off first. We'll go from there. Well, 2 days after the project start, it's out. Tell you one thing, if I was to do this again, I would definitely pay somebody. Anyway, new one's right there. Let's get her in. All right, so pretty much 3 days later, finally have the new upper end as a new bolt. So hopefully that will do the trick. But yeah, now it's time to get the tires put on these phenomenal brakes. I'm missing lug nuts, but let's get these on. We'll go for a test drive, see if it works. Well, Dodge to the rescue. That's a jumper. Well, aside from the dash still looking like a Christmas tree, just took it on probably a 70-mile-an-hour run down the highway. Thing doesn't shake anymore, so obviously that did the job. Still gonna kind of figure out the misfire in the engine. Tried changing out coil packs. That hasn't done the job yet. Tried obviously coil packs and plugs. I'm thinking probably a plugged cat, so this thing might get straight piped. But get back to the house, double check everything, make sure everything's torqued right, and that'll probably be about the end of the work on the Jeep this week. Well, I was planning on ending this video with the upper control arm replacement, but we took it out trail riding yesterday. We put on about 40 miles or so out in the woods, and I blew the CV axle, and then we were 15 miles back in the woods, and we had to drive with a busted CV axle. So I can only imagine what it looks like in there. So I guess the CV axle replacement's gonna be tacked onto this video as well. Let's get started. All right, got the tire off. Just looking at the damage. This is what we call smoked. Yikes. I'll input a video here of what it sounded like when we were trying to get this thing home last night, but definitely CV axle. CV axle has left the chat. Well, gotta pull down to pretty much the hub. So just imagine this at like 60 miles an hour. There's like no bearing races. The bearing races are actually sitting right here. They're sitting in the back of the car. But so that's most definitely our issue. I also have a feeling that CV axle shouldn't do this and squirt all over the place either. So that's our goal today. All right, y'all. So I'm going through editing this footage at 1:15 in the morning, and I'm realizing that I did not film much in terms of CV axle replacement because it started downpouring. And at that point, I just wanted to get it fixed so we could have, you know, a working fun car again. So I did not film much of it. It is working. I wound up having to cut a lot of hardware. I wound up having to actually cut the CV axle out of it. So we got a lot of new hardware, a lot of new parts in it that I was not planning on putting into this thing, just because it's a low mile rig, 103,000, whatever that's on that thing, but it's been a tough 103,000. A lot of stuff under there, just being in Minnesota winters. It's not necessarily rusted to the point where it's like structurally unsafe, but there's definitely a lot of rust, and especially on the hardware. Sometimes a skill saw and just throwing some new grade A bolts in there is the way to go, and unfortunately that's kind of what we had to do with that. So that part is fixed. I'm going to dub in the actual ending to this video that I had originally edited. Just wanted to fill you guys in, letting you know that yes, it is fixed. But back to your regularly scheduled video. Alright y'all, that's going to wrap it up on today's video of fixing the upper control arm on the 2007 Jeep Liberty. Until next time, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. See you next time. Say bye, Brooks.
Bye, Brooks.
Alright, bye.